Thank you for staying with us right here at the Accra International Conference Centre. Affordability, luxury, whatever it is that you're looking for, that's why we're here at the 14th JoyNews Ecobank Habitat Fair. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM, and we're also on your favorite television, Joy News, bringing you the very best of housing. Whatever it is that you're looking for, from the lintel, from the foundation to the roofing to everything, we've got you covered. Even if you're thinking of energy, we've got you covered as well. But today, in this seminar, we're going to be discussing something crucial to you when you're putting up a building. That is building your superstructure and finishing. Oh, what is a superstructure? Well, the contractor here will be telling us. But I just want you to know that we'll be addressing this topic from bottom to top, or top to bottom. We'll address all the angles. Now, quickly, let me introduce my guests to you as we get into this. I think I don't need any introduction here. So I'll introduce my guests. Joining the conversation, they say ladies first, so I'll start with Lilia Hajema Nafra. She is with Lesh Fortune as the CEO. I hope I didn't murder your name.
Well, you tried.
I tried. Okay, so what's the very correct pronunciation?
So it's Lilia.
Please use the microphone.
Lilia Hajema Nafra.
So the placement of the stress was not
yes.
Hajema.
Yes.
Okay, my apologies for that. She's an interior designer. She's into furnishing. There's also Francis Nesta Ope. He is with Hanex Works Limited. He's the managing director. Also, their focus is construction. There's Joseph Ofei. He's also with Norax Water Systems, and he's the marketing manager. A quick acknowledgement. Then there is Philip Apia Abwaje. He is the sales manager with Yak Decor, and there is Gordon Dougle. He is with Tino Solutions. He is the logistics manager, and their main focus is solar energy. Lady, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right. So I'll start with you, Francis, especially as when we're talking of the superstructure, we're talking about the very foundation. Well, the foundation is done with the substructure. So the superstructure then builds on the foundation, and then we are talking about everything else from the first floor going upwards. But explain to us, you are the technical person. When we say superstructure, what do we mean?
All right, thank you very much. Superstructure basically is a structure or the part of the building that continues from the footing. The footing, I want to make the word simpler for everyone to understand. So footing is a substructure. So the superstructure is the side of the building that continues from the footing, which is a substructure.
Okay, so for the substructure, what are some of the things we'll be looking out for as part of the superstructure, I mean?
Right. I believe that we cannot talk about superstructure without first talking about the substructure.
The substructure, right.
Yeah, because the superstructure can actually be worked on anytime if you want to remodel. But the substructure is very important. It's just like building a life foundation. If you don't build it on strong quality blocks, you know that it's not going to last. So the substructure, first of all, you have to look at the nature of your land. And we as Hanex Works, we build on any kind of land. You can buy land from whatever we build for you. We make sure that we do the right thing. So the substructure, you have to look at, depending on what you want to build, you have to look out for an expert. Very important. These days, most people are running away from cost. They want to engage people who are not professionals to do their project.
So instead of getting quality, well, all contractors are good, but depending on your specifications, sometimes they will do for you what you don't want. But there are the people there, proper engineers, architects, and all of that. People are going around the process.
Yes. So it's important to engage an expert all the time. So the expert knows how to handle your project from the ground. He knows the depth of trench to dig, the right thickness of an iron rod to use, the right mixing ratio, stone, sand, cement. If you are doing concrete, sand and cement for mortar works and all of that. In fact, the best of blocks. These days you find a lot of people producing blocks by the roadside. But the expert knows how to test for the blocks that he or she wants to use for a project. Yes.
And maybe the final thing I'll throw at you for this round before I move on to your other panelists is this bit about cement, for example.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that in recent times, the Ghana Standards Authority had to bar some cement producers, about 3 of them in the Ashanti region, Kumasi to be specific. So people are purchasing all of these. And we've also seen buildings collapse and all of that. In terms of cement, I know there are different grades, but what do we look at depending on what you're putting up for the
So in terms of cement, you look at a grade that is specific for the project you want to do, you want to undertake.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah. So, for instance, if you want to have you want to do a very quality concrete for a project, you're looking at the 40.2 grade. But if you want to do mortar work, some of these cement grades, like the 40 and above, they are too strong. They cause the mortar to develop cracks. So for concrete, yes, you want to look out for the highest grade for your concrete. But for mortar works, you want to go for maybe the 30-point-something R grade for it, yes.
All right. So later on, I'll come back to him when it comes to Francis, when it comes to other aspects of construction. The walls, lintel, roofing, the floor, everything in there. He'll be answering our questions. But for now, let me come to Gordon, who is actually with Tino Solutions. Now, you focus on power, energy. And once the superstructure is put up, the next thing is electrical wiring and then getting energy connected to that house. The question is, how do you do that? You have a solution. What is the solution you offer?
Okay. At Tino Solution, we basically consider if the project is still under construction, that is the best stage at which we are supposed to come in.
Okay.
Together with the experts, the engineers, the architects, then we will be able to know how we are going to lay our cables during the construction stage, and then also talk about the roofing, the nature of the roof, how the roof angles should be so that you'll be able to get enough harvest from your panels, because the panels are supposed to be tilted at a certain angle.
Wow, I never knew that.
That will enable you to be able to get enough generation from the sun. So during the construction stage is the best that we should come inside, and with all the participants of the project, we'll be able to advise and make recommendations.
So you're basically saying that even as we get the architects and the engineers on site, it's at that same point that we should be contacting people like you when it comes to the electricals, because guess what? You would have to know what the designs are, what systems are going to be in place, so that you can also align with those.
Exactly. So during this construction phase, we are able to also advise on energy efficiency. What kind of gadgets do you want to use? Because currently we have energy efficient electrical gadgets like air conditioners, lighting, fans, so that we will be able to advise so that you will use equipment that are energy efficient during the construction stage or during the installation of these gadgets, so that at the end of the day, you are putting up a modern structure that is able to provide you the comfort that you need, but able to run at give you energy that is cost saving as well. Because if you don't consider these things at the construction stage, at the end, after you have gone in for some of these gadgets that are not of energy saving, it's a cost to you, and then at the end of it, in the process of using them too, they are coming to you at a higher cost.
Okay, so right before we proceed, that's a crucial point we've got to. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM and Joy News. This is the Ecobank-JoyNews Habitat Fair, and at this point we're discussing building your superstructure and finishing. What should you know, whether you've started, you are planning on starting, or you are close to ending? What are some of the things you should know? We have contractors here, we have people in energy, people in decor, people in water systems, and they are giving us insight into what they do. But you just mentioned, so you must also take stock? Because nowadays you look at, if you're using an air conditioner, for example, I don't know whether anyone has noticed, but your bills are different. They are not what they used to be. Things have changed. And you buy 200, 300 CDs, and in a week, depending on your consumption, all is gone. And that's another point where you come in.
Yeah.
So what are some of the structures that those putting up buildings, whether it's for office or residential, should be looking at in terms of cost savings when it comes to energy? In the second round, I'll come to you specifically on solar, but on that point.
Okay. So people putting up structures, either for an office or is for a resident, they should be more considerate on energy saving, so that at the end of the day, after you have put up your comfortable home, you should be able to spend less in terms of energy. I know there are modern way of building houses where you can even have direct sunlight throwing into your room, so that it's not all the time that you have to on your light in the room to be able to see. So it is ideal that during construction phase you contact energy experts, so that they will be able to advise you together with the architect of the project, so that you'll be able to put up a structure that will be energy efficient. And then Tino Solution can come inside and offer you a solar system that will work for the test of time.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the solar systems gradually, but the energy expert you'll be speaking to is Tino Solutions. They have all the solutions for you, so you can also reach out to them. But after you've started part of the construction, right, and then you've looked at your electricals and all of that energy, the next thing likely you're going to be looking at, even before the interior design, is water systems, connectivity, whether you're going to have access to water in some proximity to you, which is where Joseph Ofei comes in, Norax Water Systems. Now, what considerations should we have when it comes to water? Connecting water, purifying water, ensuring that we have safe water, especially nowadays where we are told that even processing water, wahala come, and then we have heavy metals in our water. What should we be looking at?
Yeah, so like you rightly mentioned, heavy metals it has become a major concern currently. Now, Galamsey has affected over 10 major rivers in Ghana. And so at Norax Water Systems, what we do is we focus on heavy metals and then impurities in the water. And so we look at what issues you are facing, and then we consult our experts to give you the right solution. And so what we do is we are into ultrafiltration and then microfiltration as well. So in-house.
So break it down for us.
Sorry.
We want our viewers and listeners to understand everything in total. So what is ultrafiltration? What is the other one? That's
so let me just say it in layman's terms. So in-house, which is inside your house, in the washroom, in the kitchen, we have point of use water filters that you fix directly to your tap, and then your shower as well. When you go outside, we have filters that are channeled through the main source of your water, and then it pumps through the filter, and then it goes into the whole house. So that's basically what we do.
Now, in terms of the heavy metals, I hear they are pretty difficult to deal with. Are your systems able to work on them?
Yes. So our filters have actually been designed innovatively to tackle the heavy metals. Now, when we talk about heavy metals, a lot of people think about galamsey, but there are other sources of heavy metals as well. For instance, when you look at areas like Oyarifa, they are facing iron. Now,
so there are high concentrations of iron in the water in that area.
Now, how they come about is that they are natural, and so when there is a change in temperature, the metals leach into the soil, into the groundwater. And so it affects the water that you use at home. And so that's what we do. Our filters are designed basically to tackle those issues.
Do you come in at any point when it comes to connectivity, or are you simply focused on the filtration systems once connectivity is already done?
Yes, once connectivity is already done, we come in and we help you if you want to install, the in-house filters are actually designed to be installed by yourself. But the ones that we install outside, you can contact us, we can install it for you as well.
So when you say outside, for example, someone has a poly tank.
Yes.
Can you do something on that?
Yes. So we tap the source of your water. So if you have a poly tank, definitely you have a pipe hole that connects to the whole house. And so we tap a part of the pipe, and then we fix the filters there.
Okay. So you have different sizes then, depending on where?
Yes.
Interior, exterior?
Yes.
You have everybody covered?
Yes. So for the whole house filtration system, depending on the size of your house and the size of your poly tank, we recommend the size of water filter that you would need.
All right. So before I come to Lilia, does it also mean that, mention was made, right before I come to Lilia, has been made by all the others that, listen, it's better to get in touch with us either before or once you are starting. Is it same for you?
Yes. So there are a lot of misconceptions as to how clean water is. Someone can just look at water. So far as it's crystal clear, in your mind you think it's very clean. But there are so many microorganisms that are in the water that we cannot see with our naked eyes. So it is very important.
If you could let your microphone just be a little closer, yes.
There are so many microorganisms in the water that we cannot see with our naked eyes.
Right.
And for instance, heavy metals like this, you can't see
them.
Yeah. And so it is very important that if you have any issue with your water, you contact the right experts to help you with it.
All right. Thank you for that insight shared, Joseph. Let me come now to Lilia. So definitely, you cannot have the superstructure, the edifice completed, no matter how beautiful it is from the outside or the exterior. The inside must also have some beauty, without which people will enter and be like, what's going on? And that's where you come in. So tell me, when it comes to interior design of the superstructure, what are some of the things anyone intending to build should look at, both for residential and maybe other purposes?
So people, when they start to build, they think we as interior designers come in at the last point.
You also come in right from the start.
We come in right from the start.
See.
We come and study your drawings. We want to see where air conditioners are. You plan to fix them. We want to see where wardrobes are fixed. We want to know where doors are put. We want to know what kind of flooring you're doing. We want to know
wood?
Is it wood?
Flooring,
is it tiles?
what type,
if it's tiles, is it porcelain? Is it all those things? We consider them. Is it parquet? Is it carpeting? We want to know all of this, so that when the building is finally finished, we have done this together. Now it's just implementation. We have gone into homes and even offices where air conditioners are placed in the wrong places. Windows are the wrong places. I sit here and I'm looking and I'm seeing all the, this shouldn't have been here. This shouldn't have been there.
You're starting from right.
Yes. So people need to consult interior designers right from the moment they do or they're doing their drawings, so that we are able to place things in the right places.
Okay, and that's an important point you made about air conditioners, for example, because in some places you put them there, and depending on the length, how narrow the place is or how wide it is, you realize that the distribution of air is concentrated in a place where maybe that's not where even the people are sitting. And that's what she's talking about. All of these mistakes are because we don't consult interior designers.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll tell you, say, Charlie, the cash.
We don't charge much. We know that we're just getting to a point where people are beginning to realize our role in this process.
Right.
So, people should be able to contact people, experts like us in the field. At Lesh Fortune, we are very intentional with what we do.
Okay.
We always want to be part of the start. So when we finish and you enter your home or your office, you know that you have paid for luxury, you have paid for comfort. And so that's what we give.
Okay, I'm going to put you to the test right here before I go to your colleague and also test him on different grounds. Let's say this is somewhere in Chado, okay? And I don't want to mention any specific place, but you know Chado very well. Someone wants to put up a 2-story building, office complex, with about 5, 6 office rooms, and they want to, let's say it's going to be an architecture firm, what comes to mind?
Well, if it's an architecture firm, it has to be something that tells what they do.
Exactly.
It has to be an edifice that when people enter, they know that, okay, this is a habitation for architects. So the edifice, the style alone should talk of creativity. The style should speak of the professionality, because you can't be this and your building is not what you are.
I'm sure anyone who will walk in will look at your building first before they hand over their building to you to do any architectural
so
work.
even our stall, if you walk in there, I'm sure that you will see that, okay, these people have some eye for good things.
Yesterday I came by your stand, and trust me, they have some beautiful stuff, amazing stuff. It's not just the aesthetics, but also the ergonomics, which talks about comfort, for example. What you are sitting in, is it comfortable? So it may be beautiful, but you sit in it and in 2 months you have back pain. So all of that is in there.
So as interior decorators, we are very mindful of all of these. We marry them together. And so when we leave your space, you are happy forever.
Hold for me. Let me also bring in Philip, who is also into interior decor, yak decor to be specific. We've already started the conversation on decorations. You look around here, this is a conference room I've been in time without number. But usually when you enter a place, let's say you are told, okay, I'm putting up a building. This is residential. What are some of the first things you look out for in terms of interior decor to make that place homely, to make it livable, to make it stand out?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, first of all, I think interior decoration has been limited to just the interior. It starts from the exterior to the interior.
Okay.
So normally you don't begin from the inside, you begin from the outside and probably take it to the inside. Normally I will look at who I'm working for, first of all.
Please get the microphone a bit closer.
Who I'm working for,
their
style, and possibly what I can bring to board. And the architecture.
So when you say their style, what do you mean? Is it, for example, the colors they like? Is it what they are looking out for?
Yes. One thing is, when it comes to interior decoration, you have to also put the client's vision also to being, and probably the edifice which has been built. We have people who are contemporary. We have people who are very, very into luxury, very, very bright colors and all the splendor. Like, let me use the Buckingham Palace as an example. It has a lot of all the gold, ancient artifacts and all those kind of things. But if Buckingham Palace was being built in our time, things would have probably changed. So possibly if a client orders you to come and look at their space, you're taking a lot of things into consideration. Their style, what do they appeal to, their sense of living, what can really work with them. It's not creating something and them living with it and trying to work with it. It's trying to make them comfortable in whatever they live in.
Okay.
That's your work as an interior decorator. And personally, I try to also tune their minds to the new standards, to the new style of creating homes. I always say that there are houses in Accra, but there are few homes. It's up to you to make sure that the building you are decorating or you are fixing becomes a home at the end of the day as an interior decorator, if it's for a living.
Okay. Now, take these two scenarios. Someone is putting up a building in Klagon. The other one is building in East Legon.
Okay.
The Klagon one is building in a bit of a dusty community.
Okay.
Wants some solid interior design. East Legon, not so dusty. Roads, everything intact. What are some of the things that you'll be looking at for people like that in terms of their superstructure? Interior and exterior, because now you've mentioned, now factored in dust. What are some of the pieces of advice you'd give someone like that?
Okay, so first and foremost, I try to stretch them. Yes, because then if we are looking at the exterior, right now you find a lot of people watering their exteriors every day because of dust, but it would have been able to be prevented easily by probably getting a grader to grade in front of their houses and probably adding a few sand or something to just make sure that you don't have extended dirt coming into the house.
Okay.
So there are simple ways and probably gutters and all those kind of things, so that so that things can be minimized, even though the place is dustier, so that you don't have your indoors nicely fixed and you have more dust coming into your space.
Interesting points you've made. If you just joined us, we're talking about your home or your office. Yes. And when you're putting it up, you must put it up right. You must put it up well. If not, maybe disaster could ensue. This is the Habitat Fair, JoyNews Ecobank Habitat Fair, 14th installment now. And our topic that we're looking at, building your superstructure and finishing. We have a strong panel that we've put together. I'm going to go back to Francis now in terms of construction work. So some of the things that will make an edifice stand. You're looking at the walls, you're looking at the beams or the columns, you are looking at the floor. We've already spoken about the foundation and all of that, and definitely roofing. What are some of the tips you would give our viewers and our listeners in terms of getting these right? Measurements, quality, and everything.
All right, thank you. So the first advice would be contact an expert, like contact Harness Works for your project. Look, if your reason is about cost, we can actually look at your income status and then be able to plan something very beautiful for you, and then we'll be able to execute it to suit your expectation. Number two, if you are not engaging...
So when you mention cost, you're doing it, but you're not compromising quality.
Not at all.
Right.
We don't want to be known as a company that does shoddy work. No. So no matter your income status, we can do something for you. But for you to maybe say, oh, I don't have money, so instead of using 2 bags to do a certain quantity of mortar, you want us to do 1. No, we can't do that. Now, the second advice would be the fact that if you are engaging somebody else, you have to be sure of what goes into your building. So from time to time, make sure you visit the site.
Okay.
Ask questions. You may be a lay person, but ask questions. Why are you doing this way? Why not the other way? And then you get to know, and then you see if you have an architect, an independent architect who did your drawing for you, they can give you some of the best advice to use, and ensuring that the people you engage to do a project for you are doing it the best way. The third one would be, nobody should rush into finishing a house, all right? If you don't have the means, don't rush a house. Investing in a home is a lifetime investment. And so you don't want to do any shoddy work that 5 years later the house will develop cracks and you have to pull it down and start all over again. No. Make sure that the iron rods, they are using the right thickness. The cement, they are using the right grade. The mixing ratio, the cement, sand, stone for concrete, sand and cement for mortar. Make sure that the blocks, when you go to a block factory, ask them to test the block. Usually you want to drop the block on the spine to see if it will break or it will not break. The spine is the shorter side. Okay, so you lift the block and drop it. If it breaks, that means the block is not strong enough. That is the simplest way of testing the quality of blocks. Other times, if you have the time and the resources, you want to take the blocks to the lab, the standard authority lab,
right,
and have it tested before you buy them. So building is expensive, and make sure that you do it right.
All right. This conversation is definitely in 2 parts. So to cap off on this, I just want to find out very briefly from you as well. How many of you on the panel experienced that earth tremor recently? I was sleeping, I don't know whether it was a Sunday or something. It woke me up. I was just there and shim, my eyes opened at once. I was like, hey, what's going on? And then I realized I knew it was that, but I had to go on social media before I realized that other people had felt it. Okay. Building now, Accra, Ghana. What should we think of very quickly in terms of earth tremors to ensure that our buildings stand the test of time?
Yes, so there are specifications if you want to build against earthquakes and earth tremors. There are specifications to follow. But we know that in Ghana, there are some parts of the country that suffers this, or they are prone to this kind of...
McCarthy Hills going.
Yes, yes. So, but in any case, even if you are building in East Legon, which you know is not prone to stuff like that, you still want to do it right. Make sure that you have the enforcement right. Okay. Okay, I'm sure your building didn't collapse, or you didn't develop any crack.
Mine did it.
So I'm sure you did it right. So most people should look at ensuring that the reinforcements are correct. The mixing ratio is very important.
Iron rods and all
iron
of that.
rods, yes, and the concrete, the right materials, the right quantity of all the components, yes. And, so that in any of those instances, yes, you experience a shake, all right, but your building will not.
Nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Let me come to Gordon quickly on this point. So your tips to close, of course, you have solutions in terms of solar. What do you have on offer, and what would be your tips to our viewers and our listeners?
Thank you very much. So at Tino Solution, we basically provide solar for residentials, factories, offices. Anywhere that you need power, we are able to give you a solution. And then we provide after-sales support services as well. We make sure that the system that we are giving you is able to work for the test of time. And then we give you value for money so that your investment that you are putting into renewable energy, solar specifically, is able to serve you and pay back within the shortest possible time so that you can enjoy your energy anytime you need it. It's reliable. It's free from the sun.
Yesterday, you were telling me about this. Of course, we'll not mention the names, but he was telling me about an outfit that had solar. And if you look at the cost they were spending on electricity and now what they spend, they are spending that every quarter or more now, their costs. So over time, with the inversion and everything, you get to save a lot more. And I also know that the cost of solar has fallen from the highs that we were looking at years ago, right?
Exactly. And I think solar is becoming more popular in the sense that every year we keep experiencing drop in prices of solar or renewable energy products, in the sense that the world is faced with power challenge, and then even with climate change, renewable energy is the way to go now. It's reliable, and we are contributing to saving the environment for our future and even for the future of our children.
Interesting stuff. Let me come to Joseph. Again, this time I'll wrap with interior decor, and as Philip will tell me, both exterior and interior. But when it comes to water, so we want to stay alive. We want the quality.
Yes.
What you put in you could either kill you or make you.
Yes.
What else should we look at in terms of your water systems? What would be your parting tips for us?
Yes. I think people should be very mindful of the water they use at home. When we say water purification, people only think about drinking, but we use water to bath, we use water to brush our teeth and all that. Now, apart from impurities and heavy metals and all that, we should also be mindful of excessive chemicals in our water. Now, I want to touch on our ladies, and the reason why we came up with a shower filter. Now, when excessive chemicals are in water, they extract natural oils from your skin. They also extract natural oils from your hair. So you realize that your skin becomes very dry and your hair becomes brittle. It is all because of the excessive chemicals in the water. Now, 800 children die every single day because of contaminated water.
800?
800, according to UNICEF. And so it's very, very prudent for us to be mindful of the water we use at home. Now, when it comes to vaginal infections, it has nothing to do with contaminated water, but when chemicals are a lot in the water, they disrupt the pH level of the good bacteria in your vagina. And so the bad bacteria, they thrive. So that is how vaginal infections come about. You go to the shower, you think you've clean yourself, but all of these things
You've
happen.
rather gone to
Yes, and so
create problems for yourself.
yes, and so we should be very mindful. We use water in the shower. When you are brushing your teeth, you should be very mindful. When you are cooking, you should be very mindful.
All right. Thank you very much. You don't want to kill yourself. You're trying to give yourself the right thing, and before you realize it, you are doing all the wrong things. That's why you actually have to pay attention to what the experts are saying. We'll wrap on with this segment on the two interior and exterior decor people. So what would be your parting tips for us, Lilia? You want to put up that building, but what should you look at?
Okay, so I want to advise that anybody planning to build should consult Less Fortune Limited. Let's look at your plan and let's build together. So when we are finishing, it's easy for us. Because some people, they paint, the place is ready, and they suddenly see that, okay, I need to arrange and put furniture and put curtains up, so let's call an interior designer. You go in there and the air conditioning is at the wrong place. You have to chisel and, plaster.
In other words, they make work difficult for you.
They make work difficult, and even the project now becomes more expensive because you have to move things. Doors are placed at the wrong places and so many things. So if anybody is listening, we won't charge you too much, but we'll give you the right advice.
All right, thank you. That's reassuring.
So that your room is beautiful. They should come and see. We have, displayed remote-controlled curtains, curtain rails. This time, everything is fashionable now. The world is moving, and so we also have to move. Come and see very interesting things, nice fabrics we have on display, remote-controlled rails for curtains, beautiful vaults and blinds, carpets, and all of that.
Whatever it is that you want, come. Lesh Fortune has it for you. But I'll tell you about another entity that can sort you out. Yak Deco. Philip, you have the final word. Your tips, what should we look out for?
Okay, so when it comes to building, our advice, a double cost, you can save yourself from the double cost. People think that doing stuff on your own and later calling me to come and rectify will possibly save you from something, but the double cost doesn't work, because then you'll be asking for more discounts, and then we'll all be in that fix. So call me earlier. Yak Deco, we work in all the parts of Ghana. We're also in Mali. We are also in Cote d'Ivoire and Togo. So we are there for you at any point. Now the world is getting automated. The world is actually getting electronic houses and automated buildings. So like we have all the automated lights and building softwares to also work with you. Now you can just be at your office and just put off your lights in your homes, and all those things at our doorsteps. So please contact Yak Deco and we'll sort you out. We also manufacture woodworks locally in Ghana here, which are very luxury. So possibly. And we have our Black Friday also ongoing, so you can take advantage of it.
So major offers ongoing. Of course, if you come here, so we need to. You come here, we'll give you the best discounts on all of these products. I'm very grateful to all of you for joining. Francis Nesta Ope, Hanex Works Limited Managing Director. They are into construction. Thank you so much for coming. Joseph Ofe, Norax Water Systems. He's the Marketing Manager. Thank you for joining us. Philip Apia Boaje is with Yak Deco. He's the Sales Manager. Philip, thank you so much for coming. Lilia Hajema Nafra, I've not forgotten. Lesh Fortune, she's the CEO. Thank you for coming. And Gordon Dugley, he is with Tino Solutions as Logistics Manager, and they focus on your electricals, especially solar energy. We're taking a breather here, and when we return, we'll also talk about the finishing aspect of your super structure. You've been watching us live on Joy News and also on radio on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll be right back. Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Benjamin Akakpo. It's good to have you join again. You want to put up that building, whether fancy or otherwise, affordable, comfort, whether it's luxury you're looking at, you want to do the right thing because you want this edifice to stand the test of time. And that's why we're here for the Habitat Fair. Now, in the first section of this discussion that we just had, we're focusing on the superstructure, and we're still going to continue, but with a focus more now on finishing. We're talking roofing, security systems, among others. I'm going to introduce to you now my next panel. And yes, I'm still going to start with a lady. So Virtual Security Africa, they'll be telling us about their security solutions. And guess who joins us? Esther Abuajua is with us. Esther, thank you for joining the conversation. We also have DBS Industries Limited, one of their focal areas, roofing as well. We have Kelvin George Mosiah. He's Sales and Marketing Manager. Kelvin, thank you for joining the conversation. And then from Swami India Ghana Limited, Sales and Marketing Manager Aram Ajim. They'll be also telling us about their solutions. Then Green Opal Properties. The property sales consultant is Collins Courage. Thank you, Collins, for joining. And then Nova Plaster Ceiling Systems. What's a house without a ceiling? Proper ceiling, of course. Francisca Edubuaheng is the accounts clerk, and she joins the conversation as well. Thank you, Francisca. All right, so I'll start with Kelvin. Now, once the superstructure is done, you need proper roofing, without which the ring will beat you well. And today something interesting happened. Where I was, someone was coming to my place and it wasn't raining where they were. They were about 3 minutes away. Okay. But guess what? It was raining where I was. So that's how erratic the weather is now. How important is roofing as a finishing, and what should anybody, whether it's an office, it's a school, it's a home, what should you look out for?
Okay, thank you for having me. I think we can all agree that you can't downplay the importance of a roof. You know, it's just, it gives you this sense of security, and you know, it's raining, you are in your house, you are in your office, whatever building you are in, and the rain is not beating you. So I think the importance of a roof is very key. And what we look out for, number one, when it comes to roofing, is where your site is located.
Oh, I see.
Yes, that is very important, because the kind of roof that you use for those on the coastal belts is different from the ones that you use for those that are not on the coastal belts.
I think I get the feeling already, because of the salt.
Because of the salt.
Everything that's going to be blowing there. So erosion and stuff will be quicker.
Yes. So the first thing that we look at is your location. Okay. Where your site is located.
So what will be the difference between someone, let's say, building along the beach road, for example, Nungwa, or someone building, let's say, if I say Osu, it still might be, let's say, someone building in cantonments.
Okay. So when you are along the coast, like the beach road, like you said, what we look at, we give you aluminum sheets, pure aluminum sheets. That is what's able to withstand, you know, the salts, the brine water and everything. And when you are in, let's say, cantonment, that's where we can look at alu-zinc, aluminum and zinc.
Okay.
Yes. So these are the two options
available.
Yes.
Okay. Hold for me. Let me come to Collins now. Because in fact, let me go to Francisca first. My apologies. Let me go to Francisca, because it's like cousins. When you talk roofing, then you must talk ceilings as well. What should anyone consider in terms of a solid ceiling? I mean, I know there are different options. What are the options available? What should people look at?
Okay, so when we are talking ceiling, you have to consider the kind of building you have. If it's a story building, of course, you have the ground floor before you go to the next floor. So for a ground floor ceiling, you'll be considering a plasterboard. And when it comes to plasterboard for a ground floor, you have to consider having a water-resistant board so that it can absorb moisture. Yes, because sometimes there is moisture and leakages coming from washrooms upstairs. I've seen that several times. So having a water-resistant board for the ground floor, is very ideal. And then when it comes to the top floors and the other floors, you would consider going for either a fire-resistant board or a standard plasterboard. a standard plasterboard consists of a gypsum material, which helps you to ventilate the room so it doesn't become too hot. Yes, so these are the two options you can consider when
putting up a building. I know sometimes, I don't know whether it's the soil and whether there's a lot of salt in it or something. I hear it can also affect, but then there are some buildings you would see, and then the ceiling, because of whether water has access to the ceiling
Yes.
proper or the roof. You know, some of them don't necessarily use a roof.
You see some molds forming on the
So
ceiling. Yes.
you paint the ceiling today. After
The
2
next day
months,
it's
it's fading off and all of
dirty,
that.
yes.
What happens in such instances? How do we avoid them?
In such instances, that's what I'm saying, that you have to consider where you are placing your ceiling. So if it is a story building where you know that the ground floor has been flowed, then it means that your ceiling is going to go somewhat closer to the flowed ground. So which means that you need a board that is water resistant for that.
Okay. Now, having spoken about all of these, I'll come to Esther at a point. I want to leave you for a certain point. Let me come to Aram, Swami India Ghana Limited. What solutions do you offer? Because now we are talking about the superstructure, but in terms of finishing, what solutions do you offer?
All right, good evening. I just want to commend Joy FM for the great job you guys are doing. It's amazing. All right, so we're talking about finishing. I'm gonna take it to a different aspect because we are estate developers. So talking about Springfield Estate, right? These are the finishings we are going to give you because we want to give you value for money. So what am I talking about? What I'm saying is, talk about our service plots. We want to give you something that will make your living more comfortable. So talking about the internal roads, talking about your extracurricular activities like building a clubhouse, talking about providing water and electricity. These are all things that people consider before they even buy a land. So when you come to Swami India Ghana Limited, which is Springfield Estate, we provide all these things right from the main road to the estate itself. We're providing concrete roads leading to the estate. And the estate itself are concrete roads.
Did you just say concrete roads?
Concrete roads.
Because we know concrete roads are the best, the
Exactly.
very best.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, our motorway has moved from concrete to something
Yeah.
else, but concrete roads are the
Concrete
best.
roads. We're giving you concrete roads. We're providing water. We're providing electricity. You're building your clubhouse that comes with a sports center, giving you a swimming pool, every other thing that even your kids needs to play with, right? So that is the finishing aspect we are giving you in our service plots. So your only responsibility is just to buy the land and then build. Now, when you come to our apartments and then our townhomes, I'll just talk about one aspect. Talking about our electricals. If anybody knows Legrand very well, you know that Legrand is very expensive to get. We use Legrand for our electricals. If you know about Cooler is for our sanitary wares. And then when you talk about our kitchen finishing, you know, we have different types of wood. There are some that are made of sawdust, right? But the disadvantage of that is when there is a cut, water enters, it pops up and it spoils. Your whole investment there is gone. But we use real hardwood for our kitchens.
What types of wood do you use?
How will I say it?
Because I know there's a range of hardwood.
Yes. Okay, so we import everything from Germany.
Okay.
We import for Germany, yeah, and our appliances to our Bosch, actually. So this is what we do. We use very hardwood for all our kitchenwares. Talk about Paradise Estate. If you know Paradise Estate at East Legon Hills, is by us. If you know about Solaris, which is at East Legon Hills, Ringway Estate, Osu, is for us, which the new one is just beside it coming up, which is Solarium. So we pay particular attention to the kind of finishing we give our clients because, I mean, you're buying this thing for quite an amount of money. Yeah.
And of course, you're hoping it will stand the test of time.
Definitely.
For life.
Definitely.
Maybe generations to come. Very quickly, before I come to the next speaker, when you speak of the serviced plots, yes, that is the latest arrangement where you come, you purchase the plot. Sometimes people will tell you you must build within 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. What is the situation with yours? And then again, I want to know what are the sizes, because back then you would look at 100 by 100 for a plot and all of that, some even 120. Now people are using 70 by 100 and even some 70 by 90. What are we looking at from your end?
Okay, everybody's job is very important, right? Talk about the architect, right? The architect, you give the architect a piece of land and he or she must design a home for you on that piece of land. Now, when it comes to when it comes to Ghana, we don't make good use of the space that we have. We just build just because somebody needs to build. Now, take about 70 by 40 size of a land. When you go to Paradise Estate, we've built a three-bedroom house, story house on that land, piece of land, which can also accommodate parking space for 3 cars. Some will say this is impossible, but it all depends on your design. Right, so when it comes to Springfield Estate, we have 70 by 40, we have 70 by 60, and we have 70 by 50 space of land. And we have other bigger ones anyway. That one, when you come, we sit down and talk about it. Maybe you want to build something bigger. So it is not actually about the size, it is about how well you use the space. Exactly. And you also asked a question about how long are you giving to build your house. Technically, we are giving 2 years for you to finish building your house, but it's a case-to-case base. When you come, we can talk. Probably, we never know, and you can encounter any challenge on the way, and then we can see how best we can help you. Yeah.
2 years, I never finished with that. But anyway, you're live on Joy News, you're live on Joy 99.7 FM. Of course, we're talking about affordability, luxury or comfort, and of course it depends on what you have available, your resources, the time you have available, and what you want to do. But we have all the options available to you at the Ecobank-JoyNews Habitat Fair, and that's why we're engaging our panel. Let me come now to Esther Abuajua. She's with Virtual Security Africa. After that, I'll come to Green Opal Properties, and they will also tell us about what they have on offer. Everyone you see here has juicy offers for you. But definitely, you, after having spent money to put up your building in their estates and to invite Nova for plastering work and Kelvin for roofing work, you want to protect that bit. And you provide those solutions. So what are the things, first of all, that we should look out for in terms of security? Even where you are putting the house, you need to know. If you are putting it, I don't want to mention any areas names, so that you take me that I'm saying no. But where you build, you have to look around. Charlie, are there thugs around? Is this place safe? And then you consider other things. What should we look out for?
Okay, thank you. So, like you said, spending money to build a house, getting the quality roofing and everything, and we come in with safety and protection. Safety for the lives of the people in the building and protection of the valuables within the building. So this is where I talk about our fire alarm systems. You see, fire is a good servant, but it can be a bad master if you don't manage it well. So in such cases, the fire alarms are not preventing the fire, but they are giving you an early detection so the preventive measures can come through. And then we look out for where your building is, your location. Like you said, if your building or your project is in a hotspot, the hotspots are the areas that is a term we give to areas that have tax and other stuff. So if your building or your project is in a hotspot, you first think about securing your perimeter first before monitoring. So that is where the electric fencing and the intruder alarm systems come in. So if your project is in a hotspot, you do want to get a product that will always put you on alert, on the alarm if somebody wants to intrude into your premises. So you can first start off with electric fencing or the intruder alarm systems. And then you also look out for the CCTV cameras, which is now going to do the monitoring for you, whether you are in or you are out.
Hold it a bit. Right before we get to My apologies. The CCTV connections and all of that. The electric fencing, oftentimes when it comes up, people think about the cost of electricity. Okay. So let's look at that. Okay. Is it cost effective?
Okay, looking at how much we spend on acquiring the land, to putting up the structure and getting all this interior decor stuff and everything in it, the electric fencing becomes very important, even if it is expensive or not. But with us, we are very affordable. We have quality, and we give clients the freedom to get the product. So we have payment plan options for all our products.
Great.
Yes, our main aim is to make sure that almost every home is secured. If you don't have an electric fence, you have an intruder alarm. If you don't have that, you have a CCTV. At least one of these things to make sure that you are secured. One, to give you peace of mind. You get it. So we have payment plans that you can make a commitment, a percentage commitment. We will spread the rest for up to 3 months for you.
That's interesting, at least. So there's some flexibility in making payment. And don't you forget, the earlier panel, Tino Solutions, was telling you about solar solutions. So you could even decide to use the solar energy that you get in the course of the day for your electric fence, and you're good to go. It's all about how you plan. Me, I've planned mine already. So let's get to the CCTV bit. What options do you have available?
Okay, so we have them in packages. We have standard, premium, and basic, standard, and premium, because we want everybody to be able to at least afford it. So the standard, the basic comes with 4 cameras. So it's a 4-channel, 8 and 16. So we give you 4 quality cameras with a 4-channel, that's the basic. We give you a hard drive, we give you a recorder, the DVR. It comes with cables, accessories, and installation cost. Like, it's in a whole package for you. And then we realize that some people are able to buy cameras, but still they need to secure their perimeter. So like the intruder alarm system I talk about, if you are buying any CCTV, we are giving you this intruder alarm for free, at least to help you secure your perimeter. Yes, and our CCTV cameras, you can do a playback. It has this playback feature. Let's say you are not at home, you are away, you come back home, you want to monitor what went on whilst you weren't around. You just make sure you have internet at home. You can do a playback. There's a remote viewing feature. That is, if you are out, let's say you are at the office, you travel, you are not at home, you don't want to watch what is going on in the house. You just make sure you have internet in the house. You can do the remote viewing as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Esther. So we are looking at all the components from everything. We're not leaving anything out. And now I want us to get to another property group, Green Opal Properties. Collins Karich-Beda is here. He's a property sales consultant. You know, of course, an opal is a gem. So I'm sure he's about to share with us something that is really beautiful. So tell us, first of all, about what solutions you offer as a property management entity.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. Green Opal is a real estate company. We develop and sell for the native Ghanaian and then the diaspora. We are a listening company. Over the years, we have... I like
the way you started.
Yes, we are a listening company. Over the years, we have listened to clients complain. We have listened to the things they wanted. Part of the reason this year, we are saying that we have dedicated a whole community. One of our community has Identity Aviation, a 3-bedroom and a 5-bedroom community. And what we are saying is that a 5-year payment plan. Do 50% of the price, move in and pay the balance between 1 to 5 years. I repeat this, no company in Ghana is doing this. So even the 50%, all we are saying is that if you can't pay at a go, you can do that even within 6 months. Once you are done, we'll hand over the keys to you. You enjoy the property. Now, this year we are talking about affordability, comfort, and luxury. Comfort is one of the key areas of clients. People buy properties, then the room space they are in are very, very tiny. We take that very much into consideration. So our room space, we don't joke with it. We want you to live in your room and have comfort. People come in and then they don't have water. We have Ghana water gushing in every day. We have electricity as well. Clients are also opting for solutions like the solar panels, so that anytime there's no light, they still have to depend on the panel. So Green Opal, We are giving you a lot this year. Apart from this, the general public, we are giving you an 8% from now to 31st of December.
How much?
8%.
8%?
Yes.
Hey.
On all our
Generous,
properties.
though.
Yes, we are very generous. From now to 31st of December, if you get any of our properties, we are giving you an 8% discount. We have properties within Identity Aviation, UPSA, Roman Ridge, East Legon Boundary Road. These are the properties
if
we
I
have.
asked you, because anyone out there who is willing to spend their hard-earned resources, we all earn in different ways. Let me make it clear. So depend, but it's still earned resources, whichever way they earn it. They would want some standards. What makes your properties at Green Opal stand out?
Okay, what makes our property standard? Stand out. Yes, we consider modern designs. I wish I could show you some of the properties you have, the designs we have, contemporary design that you are in. You know,
in other words, you are stylish.
Yes,
We are gay in construction.
you know, you are living the luxury life that you really want. That we have community like the aviation one, where you have a swimming pool, there's a gym area, there's a play area, a swimming pool for adults and for kids, and then there's a gym as well. Yes, good roads as well. Yeah.
Well, you can find everything. This is a one-stop shop once you're thinking of building. If you're listening to us on Joy 99.7 FM, thank you for doing the listening. We're also live on Joy News. Now, in this next round, I'm going to be delving deeper into what they have on offer, what solutions they have for you, and then I'll take their final tips. I'll start with you, Kelvin, coming back to you. So we've already spoken about the roofing, but how long do your roofs last? I'm sure that's the number one question. They will look at style and color, but how long do they last? Can you address these three for us? Style, colors available.
Okay, thank you.
Length of time.
Yeah, so at DBS, we have a wide variety. We have a lot of colors.
How wide is wide?
Very wide. We have a wide variety. We have different colors. We have different profiles. So we have, as I mentioned earlier, we have the aluminum sheets. We have the alu-zinc sheets as well. And these come in various profiles. We have the IBR, which is the inverted box rib. We have the IDT, which is the industrial deep trough. We have Euro tiles. We have shingles. We also have steel trusses as well. This is the framework.
Okay.
This is what the roof will sit on. Yes. So instead of using wood, you use the light gauge steel trusses.
Are those more effective, more efficient?
Those are more effective and more, we're using wood. It's high time we start thinking about our environment. We are cutting trees and most of the time when they are using wood, a lot of them just goes to waste. But when it comes to the steel trusses, these are done on the machine. So everything is cut to precision. So there's barely any waste. It's light gauge steel, so the pressure it exerts on your building is very minute. It's water resistant, it's fire resistant as well. And it's lasting you over 100 years. For the roofing, we have
a century?
Yes, a century.
Wow.
For the roofing, we have the ColorLink Plus, which we give 20 years warranty against fading. That's against fading. And we'll issue a warranty certificate as well to back our claim. So our products stand the test of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 2023 to about... No, he said 100 years. So that's like 23. Yes. So your great-great-great-grandchildren will still come and meet some of that. So beyond these, you also have, like you said, the palette is very wide. So
very,
colors,
very wide. Yes.
You have all the ranges available.
We have a wide variety.
Okay. Can customers give specifications? For example, there's a color. I know there are some colors that you have to mix 3 or 4 colors to get that color. Can you do those?
Okay,
as well?
so what we do is when we do our research, we try and predict, and we also look at what people want. I think he mentioned earlier that they're a listening company.
Right.
Yes.
You're also a listening company.
We're also a listening company.
I like the way all of you are listening.
Yes, we're also listening. So we look at the hot colors, what people are going in for a lot.
Right.
Somebody says he comes in, I want wine red, I want cottage green. So we look at those colors and make sure that we have, a lot of that in stock. So we're good to...
Yeah, I know some of the people who would like cottage green. Like colors that are. Let me come to Nova now. The ceilings. So you've mentioned some of the options, but POP and others, some would say floor and all of that, but some still want to. Beyond that, what else do you have on offer by way of ceilings?
Okay, so when it comes to the ceiling materials, aside the plasterboard, we have acoustic ceiling materials.
Acoustic ceiling
yes,
materials. Oh.
Vinyl, face strattles, pinhole. Yes, there are all types of acoustic ceiling materials that we have. We also have natural stones for your walls. And we don't only do ceilings, we do wall panels. We sell the materials, and then we also do the installations as well. Okay. So some of the materials that we have are to do with interior designing aside ceilings. We don't just do ceilings. So ceilings, we have the fire-resistant plasterboard, we have the water-resistant plasterboard, we have the standard plasterboards. We even have cement boards. Cement boards are used for external ceilings. Or maybe you have a porch or you want to create a partition somewhere in your building, but then it is exposed to direct sunlight or rain. You use the cement board because it contains about 90% of cement, so it's able to withstand a lot of moisture.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for the insight there. Esther, so let's focus to wrap on the CCTV cameras. Okay. What ranges do you have? Because some, I know you go as many as, is it 8 plus? 16. Hey.
Okay, so it ranges from 4. That's the basic I talked about. Okay. So the 4, 8, 16, 32, and even higher, depending on the size of your project, depending on the size of your home, yes, or whatever you put up. So we have packages for 4. That is, let's say, normal 2-3 bedroom apartment or something. We have 8 for a bigger one. Like in that order, yeah.
And I know you have packages on all of these ones.
Yes, we do.
Especially for first-time clients.
Yes. So if you are purchasing, like I said, for the purpose of the Habitat Fair, we are giving a free device. So if you buy, let's see, even if you buy a 4-channel, which is like the basic of all, we give you all this I talked about, and then we give you a free GSM intruder alarm system. The intruder alarm system is kind of deters intruders from intruding to your building. So like I talked about with the hotspot, if you are in a hotspot and you can't afford an electric fence, the intruder alarm system is the best option. Because if you are it and you are not around, you are away and somebody wants to intrude, it comes with the motion sensors and door contacts. So the door contacts are fixed on your doors and your windows. And then the motion sensors plays on vantage points where it can capture the motions of people. So if you are not around and somebody wants to intrude, it sends a signal, the motion captures the person's motion. It sends a signal to the sounder and the alarm goes off. Right. And ours is GSM, meaning that you can configure it on a mobile phone. So we can do it up to 20 mobile phones. If you are not around, your husband is around, or is it your
someone will definitely,
yes, your phone is off. Any other person who is registered on it can get an alert. So 4, 8, 16, 32, and even higher. Some can even go as 40 and
okay, let me come to Aram now. So again, you have quite a wide range of options, service plots, and all of that. What would be your parting shot for us in terms of your package? And I'll just let all of you mention what discounts you have on offer very quickly, and then we shall wrap. Starting with you, Aram.
Okay, so when it comes to discounts, we can give you up to from 5% to 10% discount during this period, which spans our different projects. So it depends on which project you're going for. That comes with what type of discount, actually. Also depending on your payment plan, right? And talking about another thing, we give warranty also. In terms of our buildings, we have 5 years for structure, and then we have a year for the fixtures. So within 1 year, if you have any problem in your property, you can just call us. Our project management team is always available to help you with everything. And for the structure also, it's 5 years. So we are still with you here. We are not going anywhere.
All right, 5 to 10 years. Let me come to Collins finally. What discounts are you offering? What can people expect as they come through? Because tomorrow we'll be here as well.
All right, like I said earlier, that Green Up as a listening company, we are telling everyone, those within Ghana, those in the diaspora, that they should come to office, they should talk to us, they should go to our website. We are ever ready to listen to you per how you want to deal with us, the property you want, how you want it, how you want to pay it, we are ready for you. Like I said, from now to 31st December, we are giving 8% discount.
8%?
Yes, that's what we are giving. Because we pay a particular attention to finishing, which is one of the core areas of the house. We give 6 months for like small damages, 6 months warranty. But the structure itself, we give you 10 years.
10 years.
Exactly.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I'll just let both of you, because you've not spoken about discounts, Kelvin and Nova, I'll just give you the final bite and then we wrap off the conversation. What discounts are you offering?
Okay, so we're offering 10%.
10%
discounts on our roofing products.
On all products?
Yes, please.
Or just roofing?
On the roofing products.
On the roofing products, okay. For you, Nova?
Okay, so we are also offering 5 to 15% discount on all our building materials, the ceiling tiles, and also right now that the discounts are ongoing, would advise everyone to rush in. You can actually secure your materials down for collection on a later date. It's ongoing, so.
Okay, so if someone pays now, they will not be affected by future price hikes?
No, they will not be affected by future prices.
Okay, that's even more reason to do this. Esther, we are done with the conversation. I see you've taken the mic.
Yeah, I want to say something. Okay, so we are running a live draw raffle at this event. So I want to use this opportunity to tell people who haven't come to the Habitat Fair. We are giving up to a tune of 20,000 cedis worth of our products to the people who are working in. Up to 20,000. So to 3 lucky winners who walk in, you have a conversation with you, you fill a form. That is the only thing you have to do. So by tomorrow, at the end of the fair, we are picking 3 lucky winners. The first winner is getting a whole installation of CCTV, 4-channel. The second person getting a free GSM installation, and the next person getting a free video intercom.
All right. Thank you for sharing. Interesting packages. Unfortunately, they've cut me out. I can't participate, so this one. But this has been our conversation on building your superstructure and the finishing. And now, if you didn't know, now you know. From all those we've spoken to in construction, water systems, interior decor, energy solutions, and in this segment, from roofing to security, to the properties available, including serviced plots, also to all the other dynamics that we've brought here, ceilings, roofing, and all of that. This is the place to be. If you've missed out today, at least you are fully aware of what you stand to benefit when you come. Tomorrow, we'll be back here throughout the day. It's the final day. You miss it, you miss out. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you so much for joining the conversation. And that's how we cap off this session with me, Benjamin Akakpo. To those of you who listened on Joy 99.7 FM, we're grateful. And for those of you who have been watching on Joy News, thank you so much. See you here tomorrow, if not this evening.